Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Adrian Gonzalez with Finance and Coffee, and this is a podcast where we speak about money, business, and finance in today's world. And I'm accompanied by my amazing co-host, Marco Alonso.
What's going on, y'all?
And we are super excited, super pumped up to be speaking about Lebron James.
Lebron James.
And the 2020 NBA Finals. So,
A bittersweet moment
it is,
for us
bro.
Miami Heat fans. For those of you that don't know, we are in Florida.
We are.
So we were rooting for Miami. LeBron has a special place in my heart, though.
He does.
Because he did take us to 2 championships.
Yep.
So it was a bittersweet. And I'm a huge LeBron fan.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to say LeBron was better than Michael Jordan.
I do too.
Michael Jordan has 6 rings. LeBron James has 4.
4. He's getting
He's
there.
looking good for another
Yeah.
2 more. So
Yeah.
it was bittersweet. But Miami Heat's looking good.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
they look
are.
like they got a future.
Oh, yeah.
I think if they can land one big guy, I think we'll be good.
Yeah.
But full disclaimer, I am not a basketball expert. I only watch the NBA when it's the finals,
When it's the championships.
when it's the championships, and then especially when Miami's playing.
Yeah.
I am much more of a soccer fan, but either way, I'm excited.
Me too, bro.
So let's jump right into it.
I'm going to be speaking about just a couple of fun facts, but just some early basketball for LeBron. He was drafted in 2003 at the age of 18.
Straight out of high school.
Straight out of high school, bro.
Straight out of high school.
He was drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers, poor Cavaliers who never won anything, and they paid him $18.8 million. Some guy right out of high school paid him $18.8 million. Looks like the investment turned out good for them.
Oh, yeah.
Very good for them.
Yeah, very risky, but very good.
So, highest paid basketball players in the 2019-2020 season. This was very surprising for the both of us. Number 1, Stephen Curry with the Golden State Warriors, $40.2 million paid out this season.
Yep.
Number 2, Chris Paul, OKC Thunder, $38.5 million.
That's the one that I thought was surprising.
Right?
I can understand Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Not Chris Paul. He's a baller, though. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong.
Number 3, Russell Westbrook with the Houston Rockets, $38.1 million. John Wall with the Washington Wizards, $37.8 million. James Harden with the Rockets, coming at $37.8 million. And obviously number 6, LeBron James at $37.6 million.
And he has a contract for 4 years at 154.
Right.
154 million.
With the Lakers. Yep.
That's some cheddar cheese right there.
That's a lot of money, bro.
Yes, sir. Let's get into some of the largest contracts in NBA history. Number 1, Damian Lillard with the Trailblazers, a $257 million over 6-year contract.
Yep.
James Harden with the Rockets, $228 million, $228 million over 6 years. Russell Westbrook, number 3 with the Rockets, $207 million over 5 years. Steph Curry with the Warriors for $201 million over 5 years, which I think they should have done more.
Yeah.
And you got Klay Thompson with the Warriors at $190 million over 5 years. Now I know I wasn't more. they got budgets.
They got 2 boys in that list.
They got maxed out budgets
Yeah.
right there.
That's like the Rockets too. They
Yes,
got
sir.
James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Bro. That's
Yeah.
a lot of money.
That's a lot of dinero.
You know who owns the Rockets?
No.
It's like a big billionaire. He bought them out for like a couple years ago for $2 billion.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's some huge philanthropist. He owns restaurant chains. He's like a billionaire.
Yeah.
Landry, I think his last name is, or the restaurant company's name is Landry.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so he
I
bought
feel like
him for
anyone
$2
that
billion.
has over $1 billion is just like, that's like a nice way to say a billionaire philanthropist.
Yeah, right?
Because a philanthropist, that means that you give
You
money
give out
away
money,
to start
right?
like
Yeah.
businesses and to improve the society or whatever. I don't know what the exact definition is. I'll put it here somewhere. But it's like, how can you not be a philanthropist when you got billions of dollars? That's when you know, when you get cool words like that.
That's like, mama, I made it.
Mama, I made it. Now let's get into some of the teams that LeBron James has been on.
Yep.
Starting with the Cavaliers from 2003 to 2010. Then he went over to the Miami Heat.
Yes, sir.
From 2010 to 2014, gave us 2 championships. Went back to Cavaliers, got a championship. He was there from 2014 to 2019. And then he went to the LA Lakers from 2019 to 2020 and beyond.
Yep. So some of the championships, like you were mentioning, that he made was 2012 Miami Heat season with Chris Bosh, 2013 also Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade for both of them. 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers, that one he did by himself. He actually made history in that championship. He was the only player I think to come back on a 3-1 lead.
Yep.
Come back and won like 4 straight games, something stupid.
I remember that.
2020, which we just all saw this past week, Los Angeles Lakers. So he owns 4 titles,
Yep.
which is also 4 rings.
And hopefully next year and the one after that. I think it's looking good for them, and I really do hope he gets it.
They got a squad.
They're squatted up.
Yeah, we do too, which is why, and by we I mean the Miami Heat, which is why they went so far.
Oh yeah, I think if we land the big guy,
Oh
we gotta
my God,
land.
bro, I know.
That's the only thing I didn't like about the Lakers. I mean,
Yeah.
they were too big.
Yeah,
Too much muscle.
yeah. If you saw the game, it was like
Anthony Davis is like right
Yeah.
under the net. It's like anything that didn't go in, he just whoop.
It was like
Tippy-toed.
JV against varsity.
Yeah.
That was the game that we were watching.
Yeah, it was.
So-
We need a big guy.
Yeah, bro. But some fun facts or records about LeBron, which is very interesting.
Yep.
He has played the most NBA playoff games in the history of the NBA. He is at 260 games played as a player. Number 2 is he is the only player to win the finals championships and MVP finals 4 times with 3 different teams. That means that he's won it, but with multiple teams. No one's ever done that.
Beautiful.
That means that he is the guy, bro.
I love it.
Tipo.
I love it.
Number 3, most points scored in a career during playoffs. So during the playoff games, he's scored 7,491 points in total. And he has led the Lakers to hold the most championship wins in history. They are now at 17 wins. They were tied with Boston before, if you didn't know. Now they hold the record for the most amount of championship wins in the NBA history.
Beautiful. Let's go over some of his money. This is finance and coffee, not sports and coffee.
NBA and coffee.
NBA and cafecito. Let's go over some of his endorsements. There's obviously more, but these are the main ones, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows about these. He's got an endorsement with McDonald's. He's got an endorsement with Sprite, Beats by Dre, Samsung, Kia, Dunkin' Donuts, and last but not least, Nike. A $1 billion deal. Lifetime endorsement.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy.
Insane amount of money.
Insanity. I believe Cristiano Ronaldo has it. Don't quote me on it. I'll pull up the fact if it is, and if not, I'll apologize.
So $1 billion, bro. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that is.
Most players make more money off endorsements than they do off of their actual career.
All the big ones.
Right.
Like the top, once you get to the
Yeah.
top tier as an athlete, you start
Yeah.
making real money off the endorsements.
Yeah.
It kind of acts like a Pareto distribution, which is crazy because it happens in all the sports. But yeah. It's crazy how how far these companies look into the future in order to invest. Because if they're putting in $1 billion into you, that means what they're taking out of you is much
More than $1 billion, exactly.
So the fact that they plan on doing this over a lifetime for LeBron James is crazy. That means they must have plans for him when he's like older and probably we're looking at board of directors type of thing in the future when he's. That's crazy. Also, who knows in the future? He might be like a coach, or like a coordinator, and they're still able to
own his own team.
or own his own team. You never know.
Crazy.
You're gonna need a little
money.
bit more than $1 billion to own a team, though. But who knows?
Maybe
he might
not,
he
bro.
might pull in with some investors.
It depends. I think Michael Jordan bought here. Let me see. Michael Jordan bought the Hornets for like a ridiculous amount of money. Jordan.
The Hornets?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
Hornets stake. Let's see. 20% stake. So he doesn't own them. But yeah. I know it wasn't $1 billion for sure. But he could be a partial owner of a team. And that could be part
Round
of it.
up some
but
investors.
Yeah, you're right. You need more than $1 billion.
Oh yeah, that's a multi-billionaire. That's a multi-billion dollar.
That's that
game.
Mark Cuban status.
Yeah, that's that Mark Cuban stat. That's that you gotta.
The Dallas Mavericks.
When you're getting into buying teams.
Yeah.
That's when you're in the top.
Yeah.
You big dog.
Yeah, bro.
So
some of the investments that he's actually made year to date, well, not year to date, but in his current lifetime, he purchased this year a 2.5 acre property in Beverly Hills, California. They call it a compound because of how big it is.
Beautiful.
And he paid $36.75 million for it. A lot of money, bro. Not only that, he owns 2 other real estate properties in LA. I don't know why, but he bought a mansion in Brentwood, California, which is in the LA area, for $21 million in 2017. And he went ahead and bought another property in the same area for $23 million in 2019. He also owns 19 Blaze Pizza franchises, which he collects money off of. He is a partial owner of Liverpool FC Club. He owns a mere 2%. He invested in 2011 at $6.5 million, but now it is worth $26.8 million.
Yeah.
So in 10 years, he's
for
made
those
a lot
that
of money.
For those of you that don't know, the Liverpool were the former champions of the Champions League before this year. Last
Correct.
year they were pretty much the best team in the world,
Right.
which is crazy because back in 2011
they were nobodies.
they were I mean, they were still one of the most famous
Yeah.
clubs in England, but they weren't like up there
Right.
like they were last year. And even to this day, I mean, I know they're struggling. They haven't had the best games in the last couple of like months or so.
Right.
But when you look at it from an investment point of view, I mean, they're
Oh, yeah.
so much more valuable now. So that's such a great investment.
And just two more last investments. He is a partial owner in Spring Hill Entertainment, which is the entertainment company in charge of creating Space Jam 2. For those of you who don't know, Space Jam 1, Michael Jordan. If you don't know what that is, you're too young to be listening to this podcast.
Yep.
And last investment, he owns a media brand called Uninterrupted. So that is kind of the basics of LeBron James. But as far as it goes with the 2020 NBA Finals and LeBron James, I think that he really outdid himself. The guy earned his salary this year. He came back, demolished the Miami Heat. He did a hell of a job. So, as far as when it comes to basketball players or just athletes in general, I think he is one of the more financially savvy ones.
Yeah.
I think we did one comparing him to Michael Jordan once, and how Jordan was like one of the first NBA, I think, billionaires, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Because of all of his endorsement deals.
Well,
and,
mostly like Nike with
Yeah.
all the Jordans.
and Hanes
Yeah.
and like all of his endorsement deals, and like how LeBron is not even where he's at. I mean, he's so young. He's
Yeah.
30 something years old, and he still has the whole life ahead of him. So
Absolutely. One of the things that I think the advantage that Michael Jordan had
Right.
is that back when he was in his prime and making all this money, there wasn't that much of a political divide as we have
Yeah.
it today, which I think could either help LeBron or not help him based on how he moves. Because I know
Right.
and I'm not trying to say like he's right or wrong with whichever political
Stance he takes.
state he
Yeah.
takes. I'm just saying that back then there wasn't really a necessity to go either way. You can kind of stay neutral. In today's world, I think that's very hard for a celebrity.
Yeah.
They kind of have to pick a side, or are forced to, or their endorsement deals, because he's endorsed by Nike. He's endorsed by all these companies that
Yeah.
you kind of have to today, because Nike has a very strong political stance. So I
Yep.
think that's the only thing that's very tricky for LeBron James, and hopefully he's picking the right side and doing the right thing. But that's the one thing that I find a little bit difficult. I also like how diversified his investment portfolio is. I mean, he got a good portion of it in real estate,
Yep.
franchises. So he owns small businesses, and then he has a, small stake, or who knows how much of a stake of his personal is in soccer,
Soccer,
other sports.
yeah.
And then the entertainment company. I wouldn't necessarily put that in the portfolio just because I don't know how much income he's earned from that.
Yeah.
I think that's more of a long-term thing, but
Yeah.
I think it's very well diversified.
Yeah. And he's also said he's going to star, obviously, in Space Jam 2. So he's
Yeah.
he's also going to make money as an actor.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how good his acting skills are. Well,
Yeah.
his acting skills are pretty good from
Yeah.
the game that I saw.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I do like how diversified his
Yeah.
portfolio is.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that.
And kind of just wrapping up, I agree with you with the whole political stance thing. I don't know if you know who Colby Covington is. He's a UFC Trump supporter.
Yeah.
So what happened recently was he was sponsored by Under Armour, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And they dropped his endorsement
Yeah.
because of his political views.
Oh yeah.
So it's tough when you live in such a politically high climate.
Polarized, yeah.
And it's like you have to choose either this side or that side. And if you make the wrong choice, it can cost you your endorsement.
Yeah, it really sucks, and I just don't like how you just can't be neutral about it.
I agree.
Like I wish you could just be like, hey, listen, I don't have a political view.
Yep.
Or I'm not gonna vote. Now it's like, no, you have,
have
to
to
pick a
vote,
side,
yeah.
and like people, and with social media, like people hound you, and they like any little and not only like the political thing, it's like you have to be more than perfect nowadays. Because back then I think no one had iPhones or video cameras on their phone. Like it wasn't as accessible. So I feel like back then, I'm sorry, what's his name? Michael Jordan could get away with a lot of things
Yeah.
because I don't know if you saw on his interview the Last Dance.
The Last Dance, yeah.
He liked to gamble here and there.
Yes.
And even then, like he still got in trouble. But I feel like in today's world, I feel like if LeBron liked to gamble, he would get like scrutinized. They would see him in casinos. I mean,
Yeah.
and like I said, even for Michael Jordan, it was a big deal back then. I think it would be twice as much.
Oh yeah, not more.
So I think it's a lot harder to be collecting this money from all these big companies, and Nike's a big one. I mean,
Yeah.
Nike, they take a strong political stance. Beats by Dre, I believe that's another one because they're with Apple. They also take another political stance. Yeah, it's difficult.
It's tough, bro.
It's difficult to be an athlete. But
Athlete,
these are big checks.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, you signed me up for $1 billion contract. You might be able to get me to say a couple of things I might have never said before. Because that's a billy. That's a B.
bill. Yeah.
That's a B.
That's no M. That's a B.
Jeez, that's a B. That's a whole different club. That's a completely different world. There's
Yeah.
restaurants you can't even go to at the millionaire level.
We ain't down at no McDonald's
We're not
no more.
even on the same table.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
crazy. So that's the only thing that I would say that's it's a little different. But overall, I think LeBron James is an excellent athlete, and I think it's good. Yeah, that Kobe Covington is too far right.
Yeah,
too far right. He went a little crazy, and
he got cut.
Yeah, he got cut.
And politics aside, I wonder what happens if someone goes too far left. Like, are they gonna cut him too? You know what I mean? I don't know.
think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so. Unless you say some radical stuff, I don't think so.
So, I guess we'll see, man. Like we said, we love the sport. We love athletes. We hate when politics get involved. That's why we never talk about it here.
Yeah.
But LeBron's a great guy. That's pretty much all we had for you guys. Unless you want to say anything else.
No. Oh yes, I do want to thank you. Our YouTube is definitely doing really good. I just want to thank every one of you for tuning in, and all my friends or whoever,
whatever random people,
whatever random people, any people on my Instagram, my followers, whoever are. I see the analytics, I see the views, the people that like it, the people that subscribe. So I just want to tell you guys, I really appreciate it. Now that we're on YouTube, this stuff takes a long time.
It does.
Well, it's not the same thing as when we just had the podcast, but it's great. So I just want to appreciate you guys for the people that have tuned in and watched our videos.
For sure. And
thank you so much.
From the bottom of my heart too. Thank you guys so much. We do this for fun. We don't get paid for it. Not yet.
Not yet. But talking about that, make sure to click the like. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe. Click on the notification bell. Yeah. I don't know what these YouTubers say. They say something else. Bro. Or whatever. Follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
And YouTube algorithm.
We'll catch you guys next time. We love you guys. See you soon.
Take it easy.